الحمد لله الحمد لله الذي ألف بالإسلام بين قلوب المؤمنين وأوجب الاتحاد وحرم التفرق في كتابه المبين. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله هدى من يشاء إلى صراط المستقيم، وأشهد أن سيدنا محمد رسول الله خير داع إلى طريق القويم. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه الذين تحببت نفوسهم وتهبت قلوبهم فكانوا سادة المنصورين. أما بعد، فيا عباد الله، أوصيكم ونفسي أولا بتقوى الله تعالى وطاعته. That is, all praise is due to Allah, who has united the hearts of the believer in Islam and has made it an obligation to remain united, and has made it forbidden to become separated in his clear book. I bear witness that there is nothing worthy of worship except Allah, and I bear witness that our leader Muhammad is his messenger and the best caller to the way that is straight. O Allah, send your prayers and your peace upon our leader Muhammad and upon his family and upon his companions, whose hearts were united and whose souls were educated so that they became victorious leaders. And what comes after, O believers of Allah, I advise you, as I advise myself, to first have the proper regard for Allah and thereafter be obedient to him. Dear believers, I greet you with the universal greetings of peace. Assalamu alaikum, which means peace be with you. Dear brothers and sisters, believers, over the next few weeks, I want to discuss the Islamic prayer, the Muslim prayer. And so this week, inshallah, God willing, we're going to discuss the wudu, or the purification that takes place before we make the prayer. And next week, inshallah, we will discuss the call to prayer, the Muslim call to prayer. And on the third week of this series, inshallah, we will discuss the prayer, the movements, and a little bit more into that. So I pray that this serves as a reminder, as the Friday Khutbah should, to the believers of what we are required to do, or and sometimes suggested to do in our expression of this religion of al-Islam. Allah says in the Qur'an, "A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim," He says, hold fast all together to the rope of Allah. Hold fast all together. And when we think about this idea of holding fast to the rope of Allah, what could be this rope of Allah, whatever it is something that is beneficial, that is meant to save us, or meant to provide us some kind of support, or keep us grounded or connected, keep us connected to that which is beneficial for us. And if it's from Allah, then we know that it is beneficial for us. So hold fast, hold strong, firm to the rope of Allah. And whenever we get ready to do something as Muslims, we know that we make our intention. We make intentions to do a thing, because matters are judged by intention. So we actively make an intention to do something. And the wudu, the purification for prayer, is the same way. We make an intention to perform our wudu, to make sure that we're doing it in the best way, to ask Allah to accept it, to accept this act of purification, this ritual purification, to make salat, so we can show gratitude to our Creator for all that has been done for us. So it's no different with the wudu. So as we go through the different steps of the wudu, we know the first step after we've made our intention is to cleanse our hands, is to wash our hands. And so if I'm thinking about it, and when I want to get an idea of what is that like, imagine there's a meal that has been provided for you, that's laid out, a great meal, but you have to eat it with your hands. And you've been out in the world doing things, you've been grabbing things, you've been holding on to different things that may have caused your hands to become unclean, that may have caused you to possibly introduce something into your body that you would not want to. So you wash them, you cleanse them, so that that when you grab a hold of this thing that is beneficial to you, hold fast to the rope of Allah. If you grab hold of something that's beneficial to you and you're going to take it in for your benefit, you want to make sure your hands are clean so you don't add anything negative or detrimental to you when you bring this thing into you. So we wash our hands first in the wudu. And next, after we wash our hands, we bring our hands to our mouth and we cleanse our mouth. We rinse it out 3 times. And as with the hand, sometimes during the day, there may have been things that we said, words that we said that may not be so clean, may not be so pure. Maybe the things we said weren't true. But in prayer, we are getting ready to recite the words of Allah, words that are in the Qur'an that were revealed to the Prophet, peace be upon him. So this place that we've been saying all these other things all day may not be as clean as we want it. So Allah instructs us, or we're instructed. We're instructed in the wudu to cleanse our mouth, to cleanse our words, cleanse this place where the words of Allah will be spoken. So we do that 3 times, and some people will go into discussions about the number of times and what that represents, but we won't do that today, inshallah. After we cleanse our mouth, we cleanse our nose. We do the same thing. We bring the water to our nostrils 3 times to cleanse that out. And we know from just living that our noses tie us to our memories. They tie us to our intentions. They tie us to so many things, because if I smell something, sometimes it triggers thoughts. Maybe it triggers memories. Maybe it triggers other things inside of me. And I want to keep those things pure. I want my thoughts to be pure. I want my memories to be pure. So I have to make pure actions. I have to make pure things so that my memories are pure. So we're cleansing our nose as we make this wudu. And from there, we wash our face. This same face that we present to the outside world. This same face that shows our expressions, how we're feeling when we hear certain things, how we respond to things. We can see it on our face, this facade, this image that we send out to the world. So we want to purify that. We want to wash all those faces and gestures that we've made throughout the day. We want to wash that off, and we want to purify that in preparation for presenting our face, our best face, to our Creator. If I'm going to go make a presentation to the commanding general, or maybe the staff meeting, I'm going to present something. I want to make sure my uniform is clean. I want to make sure that I'm in proper grooming standards. All these things that I'm going to do for creation, for another human being like myself, I should want to do that or do more for my Creator. So I want to clean my face. I want to make sure that all those impurities of the images that I present of myself, or that are out of myself, are away and washed off. So next we move into the washing of the arms. We wash our arms. We go from right to left. We use the left hand to wash the right arm, and then we use the right arm to wash the left arm. And so with this, the right arm, the arms are like our action, the actions that we take, and the right side being the conscious actions, and the left side being the unconscious or the subconscious actions. And so it's this subconscious that cleanses my conscience. So there's this balance to it. So I wash my right arm 3 times with my left hand, and then I have to consciously work to change my actions so that my subconscious is also clean. So I take that right hand and I wash that left arm 3 times. So now my actions are cleansed. I've cleansed my words. I've cleansed my intentions, my thoughts. I've cleansed this presentation of myself, my face. Now I'm cleaning up my actions. I'm purifying my actions. I'm making sure that the actions that I'm going to make are purified, conscious and subconscious. Next, I wash my hair. I take the water back over my head. These are my thoughts. This is what's on my brain. This is what I'm thinking about. All those things that have happened to me throughout the day that are on my head or in my mind. I need to focus on Allah. I need to focus on this prayer. So I wash over my head. So I'm purifying my thoughts and not necessarily purifying them in the sense of cleaning them out, but I'm making a space. I'm making a space to where I can only focus on Allah, where I'm only focusing on Allah during this prayer. So I'm washing those thoughts away, those things that have been cluttering my mind. May have been good, may have been bad, whatever they are. But when I wash over my head, I'm cleaning these thoughts up. Then I go to my ears. I clean out my ears. I wash my ears out. These are these influences. These are these outside influences that may affect us. So I want to make sure that these outside influences are washed away. And it ties in because we just did our thoughts. But we can wash our thoughts, but something may come right back in if we're not careful. There may be something that's still lingering around. So I cleanse my ears because I want to make sure that I am fully listening. I'm fully attentive to the words of Allah when they are recited in the prayer, whether I'm reciting them or I'm behind an imam or someone else that is leading the prayer. I want to make sure that I'm listening, that I'm here, that the place for those words to come in is clean. Just as I want to, if I'm reciting the prayer, I want to make sure that the space that these words are coming out of is clean and purified. I want to make sure that the place where the words of Allah are coming into my brain or coming into my head, I want to make sure that space is also purified. And lastly, as we think about or as we go through this wudu, this purification before prayer, we clean our feet. And just like the right arm, the left arm, we cleanse the right foot first with the left arm and the left foot with the right hand. And so here, this is the places that we go, the foundation that we're building, all these different things that the feet could represent. Like, where am I going? What direction am I heading? The right side is the conscious. The left side is the subconscious. The places that I consciously go, that I make the decision to go, that are where I choose to do. On the left side of those things that may be habits. That may be habits that I subconsciously go to or subconsciously do. So I'm trying to purify those as well. I want to make sure that the direction that I'm going in is purified. I want to make sure that the direction that I'm going in, that my intention is to cleanse that, so that I'm only going in a direction that's pleasing to my Creator, that my steps are purified. So as we see, dear believers, this wudu is not just simply a ritual motion. There's a little more into it. So as we think about our intentions of purifying ourselves for prayer, we have to think of all these things and how we're cleaning our hands, our mouth, our nose, our face, our arms, our head, our ears, our feet. All these things are to purify us and to prepare us to make prayer and show gratitude to our Creator. أقول هذا أستغفر الله لي ولكم والحمد لله رب العالمين آمين. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وسلم. Dear believers, so we've talked about the actions of the wudu, and we know that in the Quran it talks about that sometimes we may not have access to water. Sometimes we may not have the ability to purify ourselves in this manner of wudu. So we're told to take clean sand and rub it over our face and our arms. And so this again goes back to the power of intentions. If we are to think about intentions, that I've done all these things. This first part of the Khutbah, where we discussed all these things that the prayer that the wudu represents, and what we're purifying, and matters are judged by intention. But if all I have is dirt or sand, to make what's called Tayammum, to make this purify myself with dirt or sand, what we would think is unclean that we need to wash off of ourselves. But we can use this same thing, this natural thing from the earth, to purify ourselves for prayer. It's because of our intentions. It's because of the intention that we are making to prepare ourselves to express our worship or our gratitude to our Creator by making prayer. So it's the power of intention, and that's what I gain or gather from when I think about this concept of tayammum, of being able to be prepared or purified for prayer when a water source is not available. But we know, realistically speaking, we know that there's certain things that we must do in order to prepare ourselves. So if we're going throughout the day and we're thinking about our day, prayer should be a part of that. Prayer should be built into our planning for our day. What opportunities will I have to make prayer? When can I make prayer? Will I be able to make wudu? And if I'm going to be in a place where I cannot make wudu, what kind of preparations do I need to make beforehand? You know, in the military, we're always supposed to stay hydrated and have a water source. They even issue us containers that we can put water in. And so sometimes we may have multiple containers for water sources. We may have a camelback, we may have a canteen, we may have a bottle of water, whatever it may be. We may have these things. And so then when it comes to thinking about making my wudu, maybe I don't have a sink or a bathroom that I can go in and make wudu. But what kind of preparation did I make? What kind of intentions did I make early in the morning before I left my house, before I left my barracks, before I left my room? What kind of intentions did I make? Did I intend on making prayer? So did I take one of these water sources and fill it with water so that I could make the wudu that I need? And I don't need a lot of water. I don't need to have water splashing all over the place to where the floor is soaking wet. I need just a little bit because I'm making my intentions, and my intentions are where the real strength or the real power comes from. So I don't need a lot of water, but I need some. So maybe in the morning I can prepare myself by having a water bottle or a canteen or something, or maybe a camelback that keeps water that I'm going to use to make wudu, so that I don't have that reason or excuse to say that I couldn't make prayer because I did not have the proper water source in order to do that. Although we know of tayammum and being able to cleanse yourself with clean sand or dirt. So we have to be more intentional in our actions, dear believers. We can't just develop excuses or develop things that make us feel like we validated the reasons that we've given. Allah has made this religion so easy, dear believers. So as you go out, as you think about your day in the morning, as you're preparing, you're getting your uniform together, you're making sure you got your dog tags, your ID card, all these things that are inspectable items. As a Muslim, your ability to make wudu should be an inspectable item. Your intentions on performing your prayers, your intentions for performing your wudu, your call to prayer, all these things should be inspectable items for the Muslim, because we know that there's going to come a time when we're going to be called to account by our Creator. Our Creator is going to say, well, what did you do on this day? What were you supposed to do this day? Why are you prepared? The same kind of questions that we may get from our squad leaders, platoon leaders, or our chain of command. These things that we should have prepared for. This is similar to what we may be asked on the day of judgment. So, dear believers, let's make sure that when we go out, we're not just meal prepping with little containers of food, but we've also made preparation for prayer. Maybe we need to take a shower in the morning so that we're already cleansed, so that when it comes time to make wudu, we don't have to take our shoes off. We can just rub water over the tops of our boots. Maybe we can make just those small adjustments to our day, dear believers. I pray that I pray that over the next couple of weeks, we're able to share something that's beneficial regarding Wudu, as we discussed today. The call of prayer we'll discuss, inshallah, next week, and the movements of the prayer in the following week, inshallah. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم إن صلاتي ونسكي ومحياي ومماتي لله رب العالمين لا شريك له وبذلك أمرت وأنا أول المسلمين الحمد لله رب العالمين آمين.